Hey guys, it's Dustin here. Before we get started, just so you know, I'm a little bit sick, but I wanted to get this video out. Wanted to get this video out now because it's kind of already late. But I wanted to talk about. I just read Batman Noel for the first time. If you guys can see that. And I wanted to share my thoughts and stuff on it. First off, it's a very interesting story. I'll sum it up for you guys. So basically, it's like its little take on A Christmas Carol with Scrooge. Because the story starts off and it follows this guy named Bob. Yeah, super original name, I know. But yeah, so he's telling this story to his kid. And now Bob, he has it rough and stuff in life. He's just trying to get by, and he is working for the Joker. Now, when the story starts, you assume that because he refers to someone as Scrooge the entire time. When the story starts, you assume he's talking about Joker because he says the guy he's working for and stuff like that. So yeah, he's telling this story to his kid about it. And he's talking about how he's just trying to get by or whatever, and that this man has became so bitter and so cold. He spends all of his time alone in a cave. He doesn't see the good in people anymore. Now, if the cave doesn't give you away, he's talking about Batman. Or at least that's what the story is implying is Batman, because I don't think he himself actually knows this about Batman. But so he's telling this story. First off, it starts with Batman's sick. He's has the flu or a cold or something. Funnily enough, so do I. But he is sitting in the Batcave, and he's reminiscing on when him and I assume it's Jason Todd were Batman and Robin. The reason I say I assume it's Jason Todd because they bring up the fact that his partner is dead, and they show a picture of Robin, which I'll show on the screen. So basically, he gets this vision of Jason Todd coming to him. And he basically is it's following along the thing of, it's the ghost of Christmas past kind of type thing. And he basically says he came to deliver a warning that if Scrooge, or Batman, continued to live his life in an angry, vengeful, and spiteful way, basically there would be a price for it. He would not be happy stuff, because the bad things you do, bad things you do become heavy weights. And this vision of Jason was telling him he had to change before it was too late. So then it cuts to Batman meeting Commissioner Gordon, because Batman's in the process of trying to track down the Joker, who this man Bob is working for. And Commissioner Gordon says Selina Kyle, or Catwoman, knows. Now, this is where the second visitor comes in. So Batman sits on a clock tower, and that's when Selina Kyle shows up. Basically, she is serving as the ghost of the Christmas present, or whatever the middle ghost is, the second ghost. Basically, she's talking about how they used to have so much fun together and how they used to play a little game, basically. And that Batman has just became so jaded, basically. And so that kind of puts Batman in the mindset of, maybe I should think about how I am now compared to how I was. Because he used to have a lot more of like heart put into his one-man war on crime. But even still, Batman tells himself, or Scrooge as it says, life isn't really that colorful, not so full of infinite possibility, he told himself. For Scrooge, life was black and white, all business and failure. And then it shows a picture of his parents dying. So he's letting this trauma from the past affect him. It says, with that thought, the first visitor left the old geezer with his past to think it good and hard about his present. But also, now that I'm thinking about it, the vision of Jason Todd isn't actually one of the visitors. It was kind of like a warning. Because this is where the second visitor comes in. So Selina Kyle leaves him to think about his present. Or his past. He left him with the past to think about the present. Now Superman is the second visitor. It says the second was big, larger than life, literally. He dressed colorfully too. Kind of ridiculous, Scrooge thought. It was the eyes that were the most troubling. Too deep and kind for a man with such an impressive physical presence. So basically, Superman goes and shows Batman how hard people are struggling. That when you're like up top of this hill, that you have to keep in mind that people are just trying to get by. And then, and the reason Superman does this is because Batman asks Superman to bring him to watch this Bob guy. Because he's trying to wait for the Joker to come after him. He's using him as bait, basically. So then, Superman brings him back to the Batmobile. And then he leaves. That's the second visitor. As soon as Batman enters the Batmobile explodes. And then that's when the third visitor comes in. They never say the name of the third visitor, but when you look at the pictures, you can pretty much assume immediately who it is. It is the Joker. And Joker drags him and puts him in a grave, and then buries him. And then Joker causes all this mayhem, lets all these people out and stuff, and then he goes to this guy Bob's house. Once he gets to this guy Bob's house, the kid answers the door. And he starts threatening the kid. And then the kid goes and gets his dad, who gets ready to hit him with a bat. But obviously Joker being Joker, a bat's not going to stop him. And he starts making a joke as if this was the game of Clue. But just at that second, that's when Batman, he comes crashing through the window. Because all those visitors showed him that he still doesn't have to be the villain. He can show that people still can be heroes. Because now, Bob is pointing a gun at Joker. And Batman's basically like, this isn't you. You don't have to do this. You can show your kid what it means to be a hero, which he does. Batman brings Joker in. He gets arrested. Everyone has a good Christmas. And the ending question is, what do you think? What's the moral of the story? Now, before we get into that question, I want to talk about some cool things. For one, this book's really cool because it looks like it's a longer book, but there's a lot less text on it. It's very picture-based. There's only about a couple paragraphs in each page. Some pages have more. I think it's cool to have an interpretation of Scrooge basically being Batman, grumpy and everything, and having three people visit him. I think that's cool. But I think the moral of the story comes down to, And you guys can leave down in the comments what you think your whole idea is. I think the moral is like, if you're bitter, life's going to be a lot more unenjoyable for you, and the people around you are going to be a lot less likely to want to be around you. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much, I think, what the moral of the story is. So my thoughts on this are, honestly, this is a really good story. I was going to try and get it out by Christmas, but then I became sick. Like, right now I'm freezing, if you guys can see the blanket around me. But I really still wanted to record this while it was still somewhat in the holiday season, because it's only a couple days after. I mean, it's going to come out the week after Christmas, but it should be fine. But yeah, if you guys want me to start doing more thoughts on books, instead of just the comic book showcases, because those cost a lot of money, let me know, because I'd be down to do it. This was a lot of fun. And hopefully by next week's video I'll be back to normal and not dying inside. But yeah, without further ado, guys, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.